Okay. Okay, I get to hear some sounds here and there. So I was just looking what it was. Fine. They never get to eat rice, and rice is a luxury for them. So once in 6 months only they get to see rice. It happens with you also. When you're quickly plucked from a particular surrounding, it may happen, you may experience a kind of jerk and jolt. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another video. And today I've got this for you. You must have already seen me recreating the book cover of this particular book. I tried doing it, and I'm rather happy to have shared that video with you. It was a kind of improvisation. Because why do I call it improvisation? Because I couldn't get the exact colors. It's not because I got fascinated with the book cover that I chose this book, but this is something that added to the happiness and delight of choosing this book as a good read. So coming to the review on this book, it's a beautiful book. The title is Arianak. I don't know if I've pronounced it correctly, because it is an English translation of a book from Bengali literature, and the author is Bibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay. The person has written a lot of books and quite well known in India and also around the world because of his intricacy in detailing and also descriptive style of writing. So I thought of sharing this book with you. So the protagonist, directly going into the book, the protagonist is Satya Charan, okay? And he's a graduate from the 1920s. The book was written in 1937, somewhere in 1937 if I'm right. And we can see that he's a Kolkata boy. He enjoys a fast life in Calcutta. And also, he's unemployed. So after finishing his studies, on completion of graduation, he's looking out for a good job profile and also a good work, a job. So he asked desperately of his relatives and friends to help him find a good job. So one day he catches up with his friend Abhinash, and he calls him for tea and some snacks, and he says, I have an interesting job profile for you. And Satya Charan was really interested. And he says, I have a land in the borders of Bihar, somewhere in the borders of Bihar, and there I have a forest land. So I would like to appoint you as the forest manager. So you will be given assistance, you will be given accommodation. You just have to go there and work on certain things that we have allotted. I'll be sending you the job profile, and it will be with a good salary package. So what more should a graduate dream of? So without giving a second thought, he packed his basic necessities and some books and things like that, and off he goes to the interior of the forest. So in the beginning, we can see that he runs. He's quite confused, perplexed with the interiors of the forest, because he's transplanted and plucked from the fast life of Calcutta and put in the interior of the forest, just like that. So plucked from there and transplanted here. So he tells himself, there is a kind of soliloquy where he says, I should never have accepted this proposal from Abhinash. If I had really known about this job profile in detail, I would have never gone for this in spite of the salary package, because he was so irritated. There was no entertainment, and he couldn't even ride his motorbike if he owned one, and he was given a horse to go from one place to another. And the people were not educated, they were tribals. But these tribals were quite friendly, and they had so much of respect for Satya Charan, because he was called the manager Babu, and he was supposedly sent by the government to take care of their land, in allotting land, and also taking care of certain things, certain areas of the forest. So what was their intention? To clear certain areas of the forest and start building up settlements, and also accommodate more people in and around. Okay, I get to hear some sounds here and there. So I was just looking what it was. Fine. So Satya Charan loses track of what he is and what he's expected to do, and he becomes quite fascinated, in the sense, in a negative way. And he's given to assistants, and most of the time he spends time reading his books, but he's bored again. And he can see that people there are poor, some of them are poor, and people belonging to the better status of the society, the stature of the society, depend on agriculture. They have small plots of land, and they do seasonal farming every now and then, and they're totally dependent on the crops they cultivate, like China grass. Such kind of small shrubs and roots are there, So he's not familiar with the diet, he's not familiar with any of the food items prepared there. But slowly we can see that Satya Charan begins falling in love with the interiors of the forest. He starts liking it. And there you have the fair, something like the carnival that we have in the cities. The fair, the village fairs are there, where they travel from one particular area of the interior of the forest to another interior. So people were used to going from one place to another to sell their items. It was a kind of bargaining and barter system that they experienced. So for a particular period of time, they will grow something, then they will harvest it, take it to the other part of the village during the fair, only during the fair, and then they will get to interact with them, buy some goodies and come back. So that's what happens with the people. They never had any exposure to any other parts. So when manager Babu Satya Charan asked them, have you heard of Kolkata? Some of them, they say, we have heard of it, but it's a fast place. It's not something that we would love to be in. And there are small boys and girls who say, hey, Manager Babu, we would like to come with you. I've heard that Calcutta is a beautiful place. So it's like that. It's kind of mixed presumptions and assumptions, and mixed opinions are there radiating throughout the novel. Now, what can you expect from the novel? So there are lot of intricate details are there, because the author has got a style of going into the depth of the forest and exploring with us the vagaries, the verdurious and the variety of shrubs, roots, trees, the flora, fauna and everything, the habitation, including the people. So people always listen to the call, the nature, the sounds of nature. For that matter, the animals, the vegetation, they know the nature's alert, and they know when to get into their houses. So after 6 o'clock, they feel it's not very convenient, it's not feasible to be outside, but still they enjoy the open sky. And Satya Charan takes delight in speaking about the clear sky, the well moonlit clear sky, which brings a lot of anticipation and hope when he really misses Calcutta. He says that if you're artists and painters can really come here and draw these beautiful sceneries. And towards the end, he leaves this particular place with a heavy heart. He falls in love with the people around because of their lifestyle and the simplicity that he learned from them. And he says, this is only one particular episode of my life I will really miss. And this is one of the best episodes of my life. I will cherish and relish the times that I had with these people. So he says, when I go back to Calcutta, I'll be in my room, I'll keep writing about them. I don't know if I'm going to meet these people also. Okay. Now, when we talk about the people, how they live on, minor and vague kind of diet. They follow porridge, and they never get to eat rice. And rice is a luxury for them. So once in 6 months only they get to see rice. And Satya Charan takes delight in hosting small functions, very, something known as snack parties in front of his house, in front of his hut, where people come, have a little bit of rice and the china grass and something, some snacks, that they prepare. So the author describes a lot of savories, how they prepare. And in the beginning, Satya Charan is not able to bite the snack that they prepare and things like that. And also, they don't know much about medicines. There is one person who is aware of the herbal medicines or the herbs surrounding the forest, and he suggests that to people who fall ill, who is down with cholera and such kind of epidemics. We can see people dying also during such times, small children and also adults. They don't have any other means of traveling to other parts. But rich people, people who can afford to travel, they can do, but they'll have to travel a long way till they reach. And Satya Charan is also well read, he knows a little bit about the herbs and medicines. He's quite observing in nature. He observes a lot and he starts adapting and adopting. So it happens with you also. When you're quickly plucked from a particular surrounding, it may happen, you may experience a kind of jerk and jolt. You will not be able to quickly adapt to such kind of things in your life. But gradually you will see that if you're observing, if you have a mindset to adapt, if you feel that it's something that works for you, I think this is a way of, it's a kind of reunion that's been explored and experienced throughout the novel of human beings with nature, a kind of reunion. And he says, I experienced tranquility. I transcended the human form to some other creature. So the way it is written is really fascinating. So I'm not saying that you need to adapt yourself and force yourself to discover things that you don't like, but it's more of how you unite with nature. So I hope you will pick this book and really enjoy reading about it. And yes, this is the book and really you will really enjoy reading about it. Thank you so much.